to a brand new episode here on Britain's Farm. So we're baling today. Thought we'd have a little bit of a change from combining because for some unbeknown reason to me, all the fields became ready to harvest at the same time. And so what I thought I'd planned the drilling was that we was going to have sort of one group of crops come ready, i.e. The oilseed rape and the barley, and then after that would be the wheat and then the oats. But in between we'd be able to get some baling done and some other jobs done, but for some reason, as I say, it all came at the same time, so and that includes most of the spring crops as well, so I don't quite know what happened, but it shouldn't have worked out like that, but as it was, because the way I'd planned it, we would start combining in July and we would end in we would end in October, but like I say, for some reason it didn't work out like that, so we're having to do a little bit of a change today, a little bit of a mix up, just mix it up a little bit and we'll do some baling, so we've got lots to go at, and obviously this will go down to the to Richard's farm, and we will store the bales there in the bale warehouse, and then they'll get fed to the cows. Although I think this series is going to come to an end on YouTube, just because very few people watch it now. I am going to keep the series going for myself because I do really enjoy this. This is, I love the map. I know I converted it very badly. I know that. There's no errors in it, but trees are in the air, and there's one or two little things that are, of not very good standard. But all the crops work. Everything works as it should. There's no errors in the actual map itself. It's just the trees are in the air and one or two flashing textures around the map. Nothing, no game breaking issues, but aesthetically probably not that great for YouTube. But as I really love the map, so I'll be keeping the save going for myself because I do enjoy playing this. I sort of over the last week or so, maybe even just over a week, it's not that I fell out of love with Farming Sim, but I just needed a break from it. Like I said, I turn my computer on at usually around 7:15 in the morning, and for an hour I play a different game, so that could range from Football Manager to Supermarket Simulator to Euro Truck to Recycling Centre to anything like that. But I play a different game just for an hour, just till I wake up, because I'm not as young as I used to be. I find that now it takes 2 cups of tea in an hour. So I don't know why. But I'm going to try and implement quite a few changes to my life over the next sort of few days, coming weeks, months, and then years. So I've applied for a house, or a bungalow more specifically, obviously because I can't really handle stairs on a bad day. So I've applied for a bungalow. Hopefully that will go okay. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. That was the last I heard from them was Thursday, and that was that I'd been accepted. So beyond that I haven't heard anything yet. Going for an eye test tomorrow because I need glasses. That's becoming quite apparent now, that I need glasses. So, and the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down the amount of gaming computer hours, and start getting out and trying to do a little bit of exercise and trying to do some other things, because over the last 2 or 3 years specifically, it started when I lived with my ex, and I've said before that it wasn't the easiest place to live, and so what I did was I lost myself in my computer, and that kind of shut everything out. And I'd put my headphones on and my music on, and then I couldn't hear anything. And that was the way I wanted it. And I think then you fall into a routine, a monotonous routine where you just do the same every day. And because obviously now I'm sort of back living at my mum's at the moment, but hopefully, as I say, I get my own place fairly soon. I have been told it won't be straight away, but I've also been told that it hopefully won't be all that long. So the lady said that I spoke to, she said that it could well be around Christmas, just after Christmas. So who knows? But anyway, and yeah, so I just fell into a bit of a rut, really. Like I say, Farming Sim became everything in my life, really. She kind of says, "Oh, it was that game that ruined us." Well, actually, no, it wasn't. It was you that ruined us, not the game. And I have said that. And I've said, that when we've, sort of first got together, we were going out, we were doing stuff, we were being a normal couple. And then, well, essentially, then I bought her a car, and everything changed. It was almost like she got what she wanted, and now it was you can sod off sort of thing. That's how it felt, and so yeah, it wasn't the game, but anyway, I sort of fell into the rut and was playing the game constantly. So it's time to try and break free a little bit from that. Last week, the whole week, I had a week where I didn't really play that much Farming Sim. I did other stuff, and I sort of enjoyed myself as well. And it was nice to some days get away from the computer. Some days it was nice just to play other games. I've played quite a bit of Euro Truck over the last sort of week or so. Recycling Centre, I bought that a week last Saturday, and virtually completed that now because that was an early access game. So as I say, I've sort of virtually completed as far as I can really do on there, because now I'm just sort of repeating everything that I've done continuously. So sort of need a little bit more content for that game to come out. But I enjoyed that. And as I say, I've just sort of chilled and had a really good sort of rest, really. And I think it was all come about because of, obviously, in September I took my little boy on because his mum, quite frankly, wasn't looking after him. So I took him on, and for a month had an absolutely fabulous time. Honestly, I loved every second of it. It was hard and it was challenging sometimes, but all of the behaviours that I was being told that he exhibits on a daily basis, I didn't have any of that. I think we had one tantrum, and people will go, "Well, it was only a month." But I think it's just deal with him differently. Just don't scream and shout at him every minute of the day. Do you know what I mean? Like, actually talk to him like he's a human being. Actually allow him to make some choices. Actually allow him to do some things for himself. I think that was one of the biggest problems with him, was that it was just constant frustration, because he was being told he couldn't say this, he was being told he couldn't do that, he was being, and I think in the end it just kind of, he let it out, not in very good ways, but with me it was a case of, no, you can do that yourself. No, you can, well, what do you want to do? You make the choice. And a couple of times he said, "Look, Dad, I don't get to make choices." And I said, "Well, you do here." I said, like, your opinion counts. I said, like, you're a part of me and you, so therefore, you have your say, you have your, your ways that you want to do things, you need to explain that to me. You need to sort of make me understand so that I can leave you be and let you get on with it, you know. And for a month, you know, he was fantastic. And then, you know, we were having problems in the month, you know, sort of I'm not going to go into massive amount of details, but basically Child Services were saying, you know, he needs to live with you. His behaviour at school was improving rapidly. You know, we were seeing lots of really positive things in a month. You know, his mum's always been convinced that he's got autism and ADHD. Personally, I think she just wants the benefit money for that. I don't actually see any of that. I didn't see maybe ADHD because, as I said before, you know, he can't sit still. So I could go along with that, but with the autism thing, I don't buy it myself. Like I say, you know, he's the one thing over the last month that's become very apparent to me is that he is a possession for his mother, not a human being, and I think that's a very sad state of affairs. But yeah, so anyway, had him, and then a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, Thursday coming of this week, they decided that in the middle of the day, you know, we'd left school, we were walking back to the car, and like I say, I need glasses. You know, my little boy goes, I think that's Mum. I couldn't see anyone. We kept walking because I couldn't see anyone, and then I did see someone, and I couldn't really make out whether it was or whether it wasn't. He was telling me it was. I believed him, and I said, don't run off, you know. And the next thing I know is that he's gone to his mum, and it all happened so fast, you know. But he was basically pulled into the car and they drove off. I called the police. You know, the police, every credit to them, within 2 hours they found him. You know, because they could have literally, you know, taken him anywhere, done anything, do you know what I mean? But within 2 hours they found him. And, you know, the police couldn't do anything. They couldn't bring him back, because I had been made to believe by Child Services that the safety plan was gospel, and that, you know, sort of Emma or no one could do anything about it, that, you know, we had to follow the safety plan. That was what they'd said. No. Apparently the safety plan is merely advisory, and it doesn't mean anything. Had I have been told it didn't mean anything, had I been told that actually, no, this is what you need, then I would have taken it through the court and made it a court order. But I wasn't. I was led to believe that, you know, they couldn't do anything about it, and that I, you know, had got custody of Thomas. So, and yeah, he got taken, and I was lost, really. Yeah, I've spent, like, as I say, last week, it was nice to have a change, but I was lost. You know, I'd lost my purpose for getting up every morning. You know, making sure he was ready for school, making sure that his bag was packed, making sure in the evening that we've done his homework, that we've read, that we've, you know, played some games, that, you know, then we sat on his bed and we'd have a good long chat about life, about things he wasn't happy with, things that he wanted to be done differently, things that he was looking forward to in the future, you know. You know, a couple of weekends we went out for the day or whatever, and he was talking about that, and then it was really nice, and then, you know, and as I say, it got taken away, and I was lost last week. I couldn't sort of really focus or think, or I was just kind of in autopilot all week. And, you know, obviously now, you know, his mum has sort of kind of said, you know, you can't see him. It's not her decision to make. I understand that, you know, it has to go through the courts, but that's going to take months and months and months. So I don't know. I've just sort of really evaluated my life and really sort of kind of looked at it and gone, do you know what, actually there is more to life than sitting playing Farming Sim every day. You know, I love Farming Sim, don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore this game, and this game, you know, in my sort of really darkest days, kept me going, you know, and gave me a reason to get out of bed in the morning and what have you. But just recently, it's kind of like, you know, and I think as well, I don't think it helps because sort of every day, you know, you see YouTubers putting up, you know, things about 2025 or things about Farming Sim 25, and I think a little bit of it is I'm looking forward to that game. I'm looking forward to, you know, to doing that and what have you. You know, I sort of thought about YouTube a lot. You know, like I say, I mean, in the last 24 hours, in the last 48 hours, I think I've had 2 views on my channel. And I realise I haven't put much in over the last week, so that's contributed. But to be fair, I'm usually only getting around 100 views on the channel for every 48 hours. You know, it's not a great deal. I think one of the things that I kind of concluded from thinking about YouTube was I have great ideas, I just execute them very poorly. You know, I'm not a computer tech, I'm not computer savvy, I'm not that good with computers, I'm not that good in editor. You know, I try to keep everything as plain and as simple as I can. And I think that's what lets me down. You know, there's not probably a huge amount of creativity, you know, and so therefore I think, you know, people are just sort of dipping in and out as and when. You know, I realise people are busy and they got lives and everything like that, but you know, I don't know. It's just a case of like I've really thought about a lot of things over the last week, and as I say, one of the things that I'm going to start doing is I'm going on a diet because I'm just getting fatter and fatter and fatter. I've never been fat in my life. And I was in the shower the other day and I looked down and I couldn't see the important part, and I could only see the sort of nail end of my toes. I'm like, where the hell did my feet go? And I suddenly realised, and I'm looking at myself and I thought, oh dear, I think someone's let himself go. I think someone needs to get back outside, get a little bit of exercise in, you know, start doing some activities. So, you know, sort of, I think, like I say, I've just kind of, a lot of realisations have kind of come, you know, to the fore, and I just thought, you know what, actually, it's time to maybe put things right, because obviously, you know, I've got the heart condition, you know, with the weight getting more, you know, I'm obviously worried about heart attacks, I'm worried about, you know, this, that and everything else. Yes, I'm on 1,000,001 tablets to try and prevent all of that stuff from happening, but, you know, it's no good taking the tablets if you're going to pump yourself full of fat and cholesterol and all the other thing. And, you know, you've kind of got to work hand in hand with them. Yeah, I just sort of thought, do you know what? I think it's time to make changes. So today I'm going to weigh myself. I'm not looking forward to that, but I'm kind of waiting until just in and around midday when I'm at my heaviest, and then I'm going to write down on my computer my weight, and then each day I'm going to go for a nice long walk, and then gradually as the weeks go by and I kind of get my body used to it, and, you know, sort of, because my heart's going to kick off when I start walking, there's no doubt about that. So I've got to try and get everything used and accustomed to it, and then once we start doing that, then start increasing the amount of distance, and yeah, just sort of keep going like that really, and hopefully start to lose some weight when I start to try and eat better, and like I say, just try and improve things. Going to carry on with YouTube. You know, I'm just kind of going to go with YouTube's going to do whatever YouTube's going to do, basically. And you know, I just sort of, it's a bit of fun. It's something for me to do in the daytime. So yeah, I'm going to carry on with that, but I'm not going to obsess about it. I'm not going to, sort of get hung up about, three people unsubscribed this week or today or whatever. I'm just gonna do my videos, have a good old chat. Excuse me, because I really do like chatting to you guys. I don't know, it's quite nice. Like I said before, I haven't really got any friends. I haven't really got anyone that I can sort of call up and have a good chat to. So it's quite nice to some days just sit here, chat, and sort of randomly, vent a little bit, and just sort of, don't know, just enjoy the company. I know, obviously I can't see you, and obviously you can't see me. One thing I was thinking about doing actually is putting my face in the corner of the screen. Now, that might be something you're not all prepared for. I accept that. But I was thinking, maybe, that would, because I kind of, sort of want to, as I said before, create a community, blah, 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 and get to know people. Well, that would be a way of you guys, again, getting to know me, because you could see my, sort of, my face, which is not the prettiest in the world, but it'll do. It's not a lot I can do about it, well, not unless I've got millions of pounds, or hundreds of thousands, probably, but, as I say, it's not the prettiest face in the world, but yeah, I'm happy with it. Yeah, but I'm sort of thinking that might be another thing that I could do. I'm just going to carry on, really. Like I say, I mean, although this is going to come to an end on YouTube, I really do like this save, and I really do like this map and whatever. So, as I say, I'm gonna carry it on privately. I've got a couple of saves that I sort of play privately, and one of them's come to an end, so because I've just lost interest in the map, so this will probably replace it, because I've only really ever been playing on this and doing this save when, obviously recording for YouTube. So, yeah, just gonna carry it on. It won't necessarily stick to the Britain's remit. I might actually try and develop it. I mean, the plan was originally with this was to own the map. Own the map, the whole of the map, farm it, only using sort of toys that only using mods, or the machinery of toys and models that I had, sort of growing up, and what I've got now. But I think I might start to just run it as a proper sort of farm or whatever, and start upgrading some stuff. We do own quite a bit of land now, which is good. And get some more animals, get some pigs and etc., and sort of go from there, really. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at, really. I decided on Saturday, as you know, to put up Ranch Simulator. That had a massive 4 views, which is just incredible. And I'll tell you my sense of humour. Yeah, so I sort of put that up. I didn't really do much in that game, and I kind of do appreciate that I didn't do that much in that game on Saturday. I kind of just showed everyone around, showed everyone a bit of the premise of the game and what have you, and didn't really do a lot. And then the other day I sort of did some major changes to my sort of ranch and my sort of buildings and what have you, and I suddenly realised, well, I could have recorded this. I've actually done quite a bit of stuff today, and I could have recorded this. I repaired quite a lot of things that were wrong with my setup. I don't know. I mean, I have toyed with the idea of starting again or doing a new save for YouTube, but I'm just not sure whether it would do all that good, really, to be fair. Yeah, but as I have kind of toyed with the idea, but we'll see. Anyway, that's this field nicely baled. We'll go into the next one. Like I say, we'll get caught up a little bit with the baling as well, because it does give us a different job. Because as I say, the last 2 of these videos, I think, or maybe even the last 3 of these videos, has been combining. Last 2, because I've only done 2 fields by the looks of things. Yeah, been combining. So as I say, we'll get these baled, and then we can leave the bales in the field. I'm not in a great rush at the moment to get them off, although I haven't said that, these 2 fields could become canola. Got to stop saying that word. Mind you, having said that, it's rapeseed. That's what it is. And I do hate when people go, "Oh, I mustn't say that word." No, say it, and it is what it is. I obviously don't mean the other term for the word. Clearly, everyone can see that. So no, I'm thinking about putting rape in these 2 fields, and going to do that. I might even put it in that other field as well. To the left of me, so when we go around this corner you'll see it directly in front of me. But yeah, so as I say, I'm probably going to keep this save going, just because, as I say, it is very I really do enjoy it. But yeah, and so this week we should hopefully be back to normal. I'm hoping, because I'm recording this on Monday morning, I am hoping beyond hoping that I will be able to get this converted and uploaded to YouTube in time for the video to go out this afternoon. If not, it'll be tomorrow, but from sort of tomorrow onwards, the videos will be back to normal, and they will be every day again. As I say, I'm still going to be playing Farming Sim. I'm still going to be doing, different things and what have you. But I'm just going to try and do some other stuff in life. And if I want to go out for the day, I'm going to go out for the day. I spent many years, and I don't know whether it'd be interesting enough for me to sort of talk about it in a video, but I had a lot of mental problems quite a few years ago, when I was with my little boy's mum, actually. Although, yet again, when she left me for another woman, enough said, a lot of those mental issues did disappear. So it does say a lot, and a lot of the issues that I was having a year ago disappeared almost the day after I split from my other ex. So turns out I'm probably really crap at choosing girlfriends. Which is quite handy, because I have made a kind of vow to myself that I don't think I'm going to be, I'm not actively looking. If life and serendipity happens and somehow me and someone else fall I don't know, fall for each other or whatever, I'll go with the flow. But I'm not actually actively looking. I'm not that interested, really. Like I say, I'm clearly very terrible at it. So my girlfriend kind of history runs a little bit like this. So when I was 11, I met someone at school called Claire, and we carried on going out with each other until I left school, but I was a year older than her. I didn't drive. My parents were never that keen on sort of driving us around, so it meant that I didn't see her. By the time I did get to see her again, she'd found someone else, even though we were still texting each other and ringing each other. But it turned out that she'd found someone else, so that ended that one. Then there was a very big lean spell, Then I got with, so I started working after some mental issues. My support worker got me a job at Tesco's. A few months after working at Tesco, or a few months working at Tesco's, and I met this girl called Ali. Ali was a lovely girl. I mean, she was mental, but she was a lovely girl. I told you I'm crap at choosing girls. She had 3 kids, didn't really bother me. At the time, wanted kids myself. And we went out with each other, and then she just turned psycho. And I decided that, yeah, that was enough of that one. So that was that. Probably a couple of months later, this lady came into Tesco's again. I was sitting on a till. She started talking to me, and she was in her 50s. I was in my early 20s, and she had said that she had recently been widowed, and I felt quite sorry for her. And I sort of, she came in, a few days later, and again came through my till, and this kept happening. And she was only ever buying a few bits, and I said to her one day, I said, why do you keep coming in for a few bits? I said, why don't you just buy it all in? And she said, because I get to talk to you for 5 minutes. And I said, well, if you want to talk to me, I said, why don't I take you out for a drink? I said, we go for a coffee or something, or go out for a bit of lunch or something like that. And she was like, I'd really like that. Anyway, one thing led to another, and ended up being in a relationship with her. I was with her for about a year and a half-ish. Roughly a year and a half. And then one night I was round there, and she'd actually been talking about me moving in. We'd been talking about, and she'd said, kind of think, maybe you should. She went for a shower. Her phone, she had a text message on her phone, and I checked her phone, and yeah, you can guess what I saw on her phone. Not 1, not 2, not 3. She had 4 blokes on the go at the same time. So I got up and walked out. I'd read the text messages. I see the short videos of a couple of them and some pictures, and that was enough for me. And she gets out of the shower, and obviously she rings me and says, where are you? And I said, oh, I'm at home. And she goes, oh, I thought you were staying the night. I said, nah, why don't you get Will or Baz, or I can't remember the other lads. No, I just remember Will and Baz, only because I'd met them and knew them myself. But the others, I didn't know who they were. And she was like, what are you talking about? And I said, oh, give me a break. I said, I see the phone. And she was like, oh, you had no right to go through my phone. And I said, well, you had no right to screw half of the fucking Lincolnshire, so we'll call it quits, shall we? And then I quickly met a girl called Sarah. Really, really love Sarah. She was from work, sort of like really, yeah, I love Sarah. And found out that she was actually married. So that put an end to that one immediately. As soon as I found out she had a husband. And the only way I found out she had an husband was he came into Tesco's, and let's just say he had a quiet word with me. So I quickly escaped from that one. I was gutted, to be fair. Then I met a girl called Hannah. She was absolutely lovely. Probably one of my regrets breaking up with Hannah. She really was lovely. Her family were lovely. They owned a farm. I know. don't think I don't regret that decision most days of my life. And then I got with Emma. At the point of getting with Emma, which is my boy's mother, I had always wanted kids. That didn't really change in the first couple of years that we were together. And then I saw what Emma and her family were all about, and I just decided the worst thing in the world that I could do is bring a child into this life with that as his mum. And turns out I was right. I just wish I'd listened to my own advice. Long story short, what happened? I had a major heart scare, got rushed into hospital, died a couple of 3 times, twice in King's Lynn, and then got transferred to what it's now in St Bart's Hospital, but at the time it had its own hospital, which was the Heart Hospital in London, which is right near the BT Tower, for anyone that knows London. And yeah, I was told that I needed an operation, that I more than likely wasn't going to survive the operation. Never told anyone in my family any of this, but you know, that Emma was to prepare herself for the worst, you know. Anyway, went for the operation, was in there for about 11 hours, I think. Came out, and within 2 days, full recovery. Honestly, like, new person. Couldn't believe it. I've got probably one of the best surgeons in the world. Vivian is amazing. I have her own personal number. I can ring her whenever I want. I don't, because I would consider that stalking. So, but if I have a little bit of a, sort of, I've got a bit of a funny pain or whatever going on here, or funny sensation, I just text her, and she usually just texts back and says, I think you're fine, from if, or, come in and see us, just turn up, I'll see you, and like I say, usually it's okay. But anyway, I had the scare, as I say, made a full recovery, and showed I showed a few weeks worth of weakness. So basically, before the operation, couldn't do anything. I was out of breath, chest pain. My heart would go at like 300 beats per minute, and I really was in a bad way. Came out of there, heart rate now of around 30 to 40, which is what it maintains itself at, which is quite low for normal people, but it's good for me, because it means I'm able to function fairly normally. I do get out of breath quite easily, obviously, because my heart rate's not high enough to, to provide the blood to everything, and the oxygen. Then my lungs struggle, and they can't provide the oxygen, so I do get out of breath quite easily. And I don't know, I just kind of thought, that was close. And as I say, we had a month of what should I say, a month of fun, and about 2 months after that, she announced that she was pregnant. I was overjoyed, obviously, because at the end of the day, I was half responsible for that. I was also kind of darn it, and like I say, I have been proved wrong. And then I had a girl called Rachel after her. Still love Rachel, to be fair. I say love, I still really like Rachel. Probably one of my regrets breaking up with her, but she did come quite quickly after Emma, and I don't know, I just wasn't really ready, so I broke up with her. But I do kind of regret that, because she is a lovely girl. I do see her out and about. She still lives in the village where I live, and I do still talk to her. And yeah, I did ask her out again, but unfortunately she's with someone, so fair play. And then I got with the one that I broke up with in February, and yeah, enough said. Yeah. Wow. I can definitely understand why she's in and out of relationships every couple of years. Yes. Like I say, I'm not going to say too much, but it was not the greatest. I'm afraid, I think, for the first few months, I think my nuts ruled my head. I definitely think that was the case, because for a couple of months, for probably about 6 months, that side of the relationship was amazing, but then that side suddenly stopped, and then she started going to a neighbour in a dressing gown, completely naked underneath, and being there for 3 or 4 hours, and then coming back going, "Oh, don't worry, nothing happened." And I'm thinking, yeah, I don't think this is for me. She knew I was insecure, and I think, while I don't necessarily think anything was going on, I do think that she used to quite enjoy winding up my insecurities and different things. And in the end, I just thought, nah, do you know what? You get on with it. I'm going to go off and be happy, if you don't mind. Because I'm a happy-go-lucky kind of chap. Got a wicked sense of humour. And she just wanted to be miserable and argue every day. So I think I'll give that a miss. So single and staying single. Unless Mother Teresa comes along. And then I might consider. But no, let's say I'm not going to say never, because you don't know what's around the corner or anything. But all I'm saying is I'm not going to be actively looking anymore. I had that incident at racing in August. Went racing. For those of you that didn't watch the episode, went racing. Was sat in my seat watching the racing. I was having a great time. No, actually, I wasn't sat in my seat. I was actually stood. I was having a good day that day, good heart day that day, and I actually felt like I could stand. And I stood, on one of the bends, and this woman come up to me, and she sort of said hi, and obviously I sort of responded in kind. And anyway, we got. As the meeting progressed, we were chatting, and then she went off, and then she came back about 20 minutes later with a drink, and gave me a drink, and then said to me, I'm actually down in Yarmouth for a few days, for about a week. So I was like, right. She goes, I've got a few days left. She said, but I could have longer, if I needed to. So I said, well, that's nice. I was thinking, why the hell are you telling me that? Who gives a shit? Do you know what I mean? I was like, so? And she said, I'm here visiting Mum. So I was like, okay. She goes, I'm from Yorkshire. She had a very deep Yorkshire accent, very sexy, deep Yorkshire accent. Oh, honestly, amazing. Love the Yorkshire accent. To be fair, that's about the only thing my ex had going for her. She was from Yorkshire, and she had a lovely Yorkshire accent as well. I am a bit of a sucker to the Yorkshire accent, I've got to be honest. And she said, why don't you come back to the hotel with me for a couple of hours? And I was like, oh no, I've got to get home. And I'm driving home, and suddenly the realisation and the dawn, it suddenly dawned on me, hang on a minute. Why the hell did you say no? I was like, okay. You just can't bloody help some people, can you? Anyway, that was so that's the my relationship history in a very short thingy. And I have had another, so in August also as well. And so these both happened within about a week of each other. So the following week, I had to take my son to a holiday club, which was in the village. I used to have to go every morning and pick him up from his mum's, bring him home, and then take him to holiday club, and then pick him up from holiday club, and then take him back to his mum. Anyway, I was at the school one morning, and I was just standing there, and we was there a bit early, and I was the only one there, and we sort of sat on the bench, and we were sort of chatting and messing about, sort of playing, the way that me and my son do, and then this woman, she arrived with her daughter, and the kids went in, and I was sort of walking away, and she came and she was like, "Oh, I'm now going for a walk. Do you want to come with me?" And I was like, "Yeah, all right then." I was like, "Yeah, I'll go for a walk with you." So I went for a walk with her, and I had no idea who she was or anything like that, And we went for a walk, and we got, sort of chatting, and really good and what have you, and then because I'm sort of, again, I'm not actively seeking. I guess it kind of in a way found me, I guess. So I maybe could have done, but I just thought, no, I don't want that, because then she said like, oh, my daughter's going to her dad's for a couple of days next week. So I was like, okay. She goes, I got a week's holiday next week. So I was like, from work. So I was like, okay. She's like, do you want to go out? Do you want to have some fun, cinema, seaside, this, that, and everything? I was just like, not really. So yeah, and since then nothing. So maybe life tried to help, but yeah, I just want to get my house, just want to get settled, just want to get doing a few things my way, and then we'll see where we're at after that. But yeah, there's quite a few things. Anyway, I've gone on for far too long in this video. Thanks ever so much for watching. Really enjoyed having your company. It's free to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed and you want to, please do. It really does mean a lot. If you just watch these videos for a bit of fun every now and again and don't want to, But honestly, if you want my advice on the subject, definitely subscribe. Absolutely, 100% subscribe. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, thanks very much for listening. Bye for now.